If you want to be a team roper, you need a good saddle,
The horse knows more than we ever will about what works and what doesn't work on his back.
like a custom saddle from Stoney Saddlery in Wickenberg.
14-inch seat one.
You'll meet the man who builds them just ahead.
You can see how this is. I'm putting a new horn on this saddle.
Welcome to Stoney Saddlery in downtown Wickenberg.
And I started building saddles in the mid-70s.
Today, Jim Stone has quite the reputation in the custom saddle world.
So now, how long should it take to make an average saddle?
Understood. You don't make average saddles.
Never have. I have a lot of saddles that's been up there to the NFR in Vegas, both in barrel racing and team roping and bulldogging. This is your back housing that fits on here. So when it's done, this gives you a little bit more of an idea. I've got to take this pattern now and apply it up here onto the swells.
He has a 2-year waiting list for orders, even though his basic custom saddle, similar to this one, starts at $5,000.
This is just a nice little ranch type saddle.
And by looking at the photos of his work,
There's my 1,000 saddle.
it's clear he's not known for making basic saddles.
This is 1,000. This is my steer roping saddle. So this is a little barrel racing saddle.
Back in the 1970s, Jim knew nothing about building saddles. He was a ranch hand.
I'll do a little bit like this for you to show it. And we were doing corn harvest and it's colder than heck and it was old trucks with no doors and freezing my butt off. I had a friend whose dad was a shop foreman in West Palm Beach, Florida. He said, well, come on down here, I'll get you a job. And went to work in a saddle shop and been doing it ever since. This is a little 14-inch seat one. And you can see how this is.
His saddle making journey took him to other parts of the country.
Learn a lot of different ways in different places and different regions.
New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas.
I was in Texas for a long time, made a lot of cutting saddles down there.
And always learning along the way.
And that gives you what I call a toolbox. Like anything else, the more tools you have in your toolbox, the more things that you can do and do them very well. But a pad goes in here like this. And then we're going to have a piece of exotic leather that will fit over this. And it's just a really neat, sharp look.
But his best teacher have been the horses he rides, as a top competitor in the rodeo sport of steer roping.
That's the holy grail on how to make it, not how somebody taught you, not how you learned. It's how your horse and your event that you're doing teaches you what works and what doesn't work. And I've taken that to heart and try to learn off of that. The horse knows more than we ever will about what works and what doesn't work on his back.
Building a saddle starts with a good foundation, what's known as a tree.
This is your frame. The bottom of this fits the horse and the top of it fits the rider.
Which Stone custom orders for each horse.
So when it comes to the bottom, it's these bars. They have to be at a set of specs that will accommodate the fit of the horse. And these are all custom made in my specs to fit your unicorn and your discipline of riding, whatever it may be.
In my humble opinion, a well-made saddle is fine craftsmanship. What have you enjoyed most about what you do?
Getting paid.
But don't dare call Jim a craftsman.
Oh, no, sir. I am not a craftsman. I'm a businessman. Every business in the world is about supply and demand, isn't it? I have the only Stoney saddles that you can get in the whole US of A. Nobody else can do a Stoney saddle.
And don't ask him to fix your shoes.
What about your motorcycle seat and your wife's purse? Not going to happen in this lifetime.
He will repair your saddle and fix other horse gear. How old is your sewing machine?
Do not know. Do not care. It's like a hammer. As long as it pounds in the mail, it's a really, really good thing. Repair is like owning a tire shop.
Please.
You just kind of ambush people, don't you?
Yes, she does.
You make your money selling tires, but you still have to fix the flats. But it builds up good loyalty. You do a good job on that at a good price, and they're going to come back for more.
Steers are coming out of the 3-turn chute this morning.
And with the many affluent team ropers who flock to Wickenberg for the winter,
I can go out and look at their horses if they want. I do a ton of that here.
He's in the perfect place to meet people in the market and with the means to buy a custom saddle.
They spent their whole life getting by. Now they want to enjoy the fruits of their labors. So they want some nicer things. And that's one of the reasons I have the apparel and clothing and the tech that I have. It's nicer stuff.
You'll find some very nice Western merchandise in the front half of his store, like high-quality Western clothing, Western outfits for the grandkids, and other Western goodies.
Your sheepskin, it should be good and free-flowing. You should never have knots in it.
But what keeps the door open is the reputation of this self-described businessman
The saddles I made 10 years ago aren't as good as they are now.
who's very good at the business of making saddles.
And hopefully 10 years from now, they'll be better yet.